Viviana Munoz. They're $500,000 earners, plus earners. Amazing career in Primerica. One of the things about these guys is that they're workers, man. They are $10,000 producers. They are leaders. They are builders. They've always had and believe in the power of the big base shop. They understand relationships. And today they're going to talk to us about how they really transform their lives into a life of freedom and choices and options. And they have an amazing family, great kids, wonderful, wonderful kids, and just really, really proud to have them on this morning. So they're gonna tell us how to do it. I want you guys to know, Mario and Viviana, that this is our full-timer group here. And so I don't want you to hold back. I want you to talk to them exactly like you would be talking to your team if you needed to rally your team. We need a rally right now. We need a boost right now. We need to get this thing moving in the right direction. We've had an incredible time this last couple of months. We've had a lot of growth, but we got to keep that momentum going. I can feel it, slowing a little bit. I could feel a little bit of pullback this last month, and we got to fuel it back up. We got to keep this thing moving. So let's give it up for the awesome Mario and Viviana Munoz.
Hey guys, how are you, Daniel?
Hey Daniel.
Hey.
Real quick, first, good morning. Can you make us co-host just so that we could share a PowerPoint? That'd be great.
Yes. Yes, I will do that right now.
And by the way, if I keep it 100, what if your people quit though?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If they quit, they're wimps anyways, man. So it's all good. It's all good, man. You know me, man. You know me.
Man, you guys, thank you for having us here, Daniel and Karma. Hey, by the way, happy birthday tomorrow for Karma too, 4th of July baby. And guys, these times, this is the new norm right now, okay? And when we got back from the Bahamas, I mean, it was, where were we at? The Bahamas in February. Then March came along, and then in the middle of March, this is when all happened. Everything was shut down. We were on lockdown. And Maya and I were like, wait a second, you know what? Some people are booming in this business. We're not going to be left behind. So Mario and I both came into an agreement where we're like, you know what? We have to master this Zoom. We have to master this new norm right now, because you know what? People are still getting paid. People are still out, whatever's going on and all that with this COVID-19. We said, we need to make sure that, you know what? We have to master this. And we have to learn about this. We have to know how to communicate with clients, what to do, because we're always out there prospecting, talking with people. So we basically call all our clients, basically our team. We made up with a group of leaders, and we said, listen, we need to make sure we master this, know how to use this, screenshot this and that. And I'm super proud of Mario. He'll be talking about this, but he took charge of that he mastered. He probably spent 2 or 3 days on this. And he says, you know what, we're going to do this. Okay. And there's reps, Daniel, too, that never did anything throughout the year, maybe 1 and 1 or maybe 1 and 0. But Zoom was their niche. So they took off with this. And you know what? I'm super excited about this. So that we learned a couple of things with this Zoom and all that. But one thing is this, we prioritized what we were going to do, because we couldn't have op nights at our office. We weren't having op nights. We had to master how to do the Zoom on op nights here, not only the Monday trainings through the house, Saturday trainings. And obviously we're like, okay, we need a specific room for this or this or that. And we just had our boundaries, Mario and I, we had our boundaries, and we said, okay, you're going to do this during this time, this during that time and all that. But we mastered it. And you know what? It's the new norm, and we have to go with it and all that. We have probably licensed in 14 states. So we're building legs all over. And I told our reps, listen, you have family there. Everybody needs what we do, okay? Everybody, we're all a unit here. And everybody needs an opportunity, because there's people out there struggling right now. There's people that want an opportunity. And where else? Primerica is the only company standing still, okay? They're not laying off people. Primerica's not laying off people. The only person that's laying off is ourselves, okay? That we're not using our license. And I told Mario, listen, we got to get with the reps. We got to do this and that. And we have, and we're excited about that. But the thing is this, guys, accept where we're at right now And don't act like, woe is me, man. I can't do this, what they're doing. Yes, you can. Okay, there's a lot of things that our people are doing. I don't know if Mario will go into it, but I'll share one with one of our reps said, you know what? If I can't prospect, I'm going to prospect a different way. I'm going to make out flyers, not mention Primerica, but go throughout everywhere. And that's how he's getting all this commotion going on and all that. Okay. Leaving them in cars, stuff like that. But the main key is this: training 8 to 15 people, recruiting people all over, man, because like I said, people want an opportunity. And plug in with your mentors, plug in with the source guys. Okay. You guys have Daniel and Karma here. Okay. We have been plugging in with Neil and Vicky once a month. We do like a partners meeting, and we're just talking about growth. We're talking about mindset, you know, the $1 million mindset of how to get there and going through the ins and outs, right? Not making sure that, you know what, nothing's going to stop us. Nothing will stop us at all. And like I said, plugging in with that mindset, having that vision, not letting go of what it is. Like I said, people are sick out there. They're dying, you know. My sister is a nurse. She got the COVID and I didn't see her since March. We still, like, right now, it's like, it's iffy, you know. She's not the same anymore. And I told Mario, you know what? I'm glad she's a client and all that. But I said, you know what? We have to fight for our family, our kids. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. It's getting worse. It's not. I don't know. Right. But nothing is stopping Mario and I. But we do have a mindset of not giving up, making sure we push on our people, just like Daniel and Karma do. I see Daniel. I see his posts all the time. He is like the most, I mean, man, you're out there all the time giving so much to people, and that's what we're doing, zooming with our people, pushing them, telling them that they can do it, that there's people out there that want to help, guys. Okay. And nothing is stopping us, guys. Nothing is. All I'm telling you is this: I am so grateful for this, because, you know, I get to work with my better half. I mean, I mastered the art of cooking, Daniel. I mean, you guys got to come over. I make the best food now. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. I don't know, but it's YouTube. I mean, what else are we going to do? I got to master something during this time. I can't go out. I can't do anything now. It's, you know, a little bit easing off and all that, but still, you know, master this, master how to get great at this, master that, you know what, you are great. Nothing's going to stop you guys. Okay. It's just you. It's your mindset, right? That's it. It's just your mindset. But people need what we do. Believe me, people are in need of what we do. There's tons of people that need our protection. Okay, guys, there's tons of people out there that still need to hear about Primerica, that still need to hear your personal story, because the main bottom line is this: they need to hear why you're doing Primerica, where you're going, your vision. And when you have that in place, people will follow you. People will follow a leader that's doing something. Okay. I just wanted to share that with you. I know Mario has PowerPoints. Maybe later on we can talk and all that, but, you know, I'm going to go in another Zoom right now, but I love you guys so much. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good job, hon. All right. Awesome. Hey. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to give you the secret. I know you've never heard it, but I'm going to give you the secret. Okay. So get ready. I'm going to fly through the secrets. Just kidding. You know, Daniel's awesome. Let me just say, I know he protects his environment. So I appreciate you having us on. You know, and, you know, we don't do a lot of these, believe it or not. I've had a lot of messages through social media, or some people that have my cell phone. Can you do what's called a jump in? I didn't even know it was called a jump in. I'm like, no, I don't do jump ins, you know, but for Daniel and Karma, we're there because they're the real deal. You know what I mean? And they're true friends. We've literally traveled the world with them. You could plant your flag with them. You know, they're not perfect, but they're perfect for us. Okay, I'll just tell you that right now. Okay, so they're amazing. They're always selling the dream. They're gutsy. They have grit, and you want to follow people like that that have big hearts. Okay, so I just want to tell you that right now. I know that when you're around greatness, sometimes we take it for granted, guys. You know, make sure you don't do that. And you're representing the best opportunity in the world. So I'm going to cover a little bit of things. I'm going to fly through this, guys. My coffee's kicking in. Trust me. I don't wake up this early for anybody except for Daniel. No, just kidding. No, we actually get up at 6 a.m. to go for a walk and take the dogs. We have 2 dogs for a walk. And that's kind of the new norm too. Trust me. Okay. I mean, when we're going to sleep at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, sometimes it catches up to you a little bit, but anyways, this is a full-timer. So, you know, congratulations. We got, you know, about 50 people on, which is huge. These are the folks that are going to go regional vice president. So make sure you know, it's not just because I'm talking or Viviana speaking, you know, make sure you hold on to every word, because there's something somebody could say that could, definitely help you reinvent your business. Okay, so let me get into it. Let me pull up my PowerPoint here, and I'm not gonna make it all fluff because this is full timers. But maybe some of you guys haven't heard our story, so I'm gonna fly through a story real quick. So and then after I go through my story, I'm gonna share with you guys what's going on in this world, which you guys know, and how great our opportunity is, and then I'm going to give you some nuggets, at least 4 points that could help you, okay? That you could do on a daily basis, by the way. 4 points that you could do every single day if you want to get big, because we got things rocking. Last month, we did over 130,000 in the base. So we want to turn this into a hierarchy that does 300 grand through first. And I had a talk with Rick Sugi the other day, and he said the fastest way to get through 300 grand through first is you make sure you have anywhere between 20 or 30 RVPs, period, end of story. He said those in my hierarchy that have under 20 that peak sometimes is because they're effing around and they don't have 20 to 30 RVPs. So that kind of stretched me out a little bit. And but we're excited. Okay. So anyways, so I played soccer. I played a lot of sports, but the sport that I excelled the most in was soccer. I know Daniel's daughter is really good at soccer too as well. I follow that stuff. I mean, they're amazing at everything they do. You know what I mean? But I know I was a goalkeeper. You got to be pretty crazy to be a keeper. I played with the under-17 national team, so I got a chance to go to Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii by the age of 17. So so I'm gonna be a pro. I'm gonna be a pro, and it didn't happen. But I read a book called Think and Grow Rich, where it says you get 1 or 2 opportunities in your life. So is this your first or is this your last? See, for me, this was my last shot at life to make a difference. I was a lot of newspaper clippings, and again, my whole journey when I was little, I'm gonna be a pro. I had posters of soccer players, and I'm gonna be a pro. I'm gonna be a pro. And back in the day, soccer wasn't as popular as it was today. I think we put it on the map when the World Cup came to the States. But anyways, that's another topic, and we could talk about that later on. But anyways, this is a few pictures. Again, always involved with sports, because guys, I always wanted to get paid for something that I love to do. And they say when you love what you do, it's the last day you work. I love Primerica. I love what we do. I love what we represent. I just didn't know if we were going to be competitive. I mean, when POL has a tab called Competition Scoreboard, I mean, that's pretty amazing, guys. Now, I'm not saying you focus on the competition, because you got to play your game, stay in your lane, hit your numbers. A lot of times people are looking left and right, and they're going to end up somewhere else. Don't do that. In fact, sometimes, I'm human nature. I look at that and I start seeing red, and it's not good. Okay. So we're just playing our game, staying in our lane. But anyways, I thought it'd be a pro. Viviana did track cross country. We met in high school. She's my high school sweetheart. We met in Miss Saco's class, my sophomore year in high school. And, I remember one time she touched my hand and I said, "Hey, stop touching me. I'm still little." And she would not listen, guys. I'm telling you. But she's gone. So I could tell you the story. Okay. Right. So, but I bleached my hair. Daniel, I used to have long hair. And I know I've seen pictures of you, bro. You could relate, right? With your little truck, right? And same thing with me. I had a Toyota truck, very similar, right? So, I was crazy when I bleached my hair, and, listen, guys, you know why I would do that? Because I never cared what people thought or said. You don't think family would talk? Even my parents, I mean, God bless them. I love them to death, but, they just didn't know what they had their hands on. And I love my parents, but I always wanted to be different, right? So if you want to be the same as everybody else, you're going to have what everybody else has, guys. Daniel and Karma are different. Okay, that's why he doesn't need a green screen in the back. His house is his green screen, right? So anyways, but we're excited about that. I know I have mine too, but right now it's my library. I'm in my formal room right now as we speak. But anyways, we got married. We were always involved with the community, so we were in the newspaper. And then I had to get a job, so it's not like I was gonna live with my mommy that watches my chonies, right? So my jail number used to be 0164571. Made 60 grand a year 18 years ago. Look at it in the middle, 60 grand a year 18 years ago. Today, most people would be like, "Damn, I wish I made 60 grand a year." Talk about corporate America sucks. I was local 396. I don't look too excited right there. In that picture, that's my mug shot. I'm telling you, cut me off, I'm going to tell you're number one real quick right there. Okay, trust me on that one, okay? So almost convinced that that's as far as I could go. But see, I truly believe that people, God puts people in your life and out of your life for a reason. Somebody talked to me about the business and this journey, and and the rest is history. Look, I want to share this with you because Daniel, I sent this out on our group me on January 1st of this year. I know we all have New Year's resolutions, but I was serious because hear me out, guys. Viviana and I, we started Primerica after 9/11. The economy wasn't very good. That's when we started this business. Most people would say, what the heck are you doing? But you know what? They were laying off all these air drivers, cover drivers, part-time drivers. I'm thinking, where else am I going to go make 60 grand a year? Viviana was a registered nurse. She also was making 60 grand a year at Whittier Presbyterian, labor and delivery. She worked at night. I worked during the day. We high-five each other on the way to work. And we kind of, just recharge our batteries on Sunday, right? Horrible way to live, by the way. But that's where people are at. They have no opportunity. No one's talked to them about Primerica. But, anyway, so we started after 9/11. Then, Daniel, we went RVP in 2007, 2008. What was that time? The Great Recession. So there's been pandemics or, I don't know, great recessions or problems with the economy, with the world. When we've started this business, when we got promoted. Now, with coronavirus and the C-19, this is the best opportunity in the world. When all this stuff went down and we have to master Zoom, I said, listen, this is our window of opportunity. This is where we're going to put it to sleep and build a mega hierarchy. This is it. And obviously I sent this before we went on lockdown with the country, but it says this is going to be a great year of setting production and income records, for I intend to make it so, and I'm highly favored from God. Thank you, God, in advance for putting the right people in front of me and taking the wrong people out of my life so that I could strive and accomplish your task to help your people. That's why Daniel says, hey, they get blown out, they get blown out. You're not, though. You guys are strong. But he knows because he's done it and will do it again. See, it's like riding a bike. You don't forget how to ride a bike. It says here, or what I wrote, I will honor you to the best of my ability and showcase the greatness and divine powers you instilled in me. I declare victory. I was created in the image of God. I have the DNA of a winner. I am wearing a crown of favor. Royal blood flows through my veins. I will love with purpose, passion, praise, knowing that I was destined to live in victory. This is my declaration. So what's your declaration when you wake up? Do you say, man, this is going to be a great day? Or do you say, oh, woe is me, like Viviana said, oh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could prospect anymore. I got to wear this damn mask. Hey, you got to be creative, guys. But it's all mental. It's all your attitude. It's all your thinking. That's how we're going to get the results. If we fix this, man, the results are going to come just like that, guys. And you know what? It's a crazy world out there. You look at the news, and by the way, I wouldn't look at the news or even social media. Be careful with that stuff too, because there's a lot of negativity out there. But companies are going down. See, you and I, we're one recruit away from an explosion. We could always reinvent ourselves. Every single month, we start at zero, including Hector Lamarck. Everybody starts at zero on day one, guys. So guess what? That solution number you and I have has value, has merit to it. See, these companies have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and they're gone. Soup Plantation is gone. Golden Corral is gone. Nordstrom's, and I love Nordstrom's. All these companies are going under. Where this is the only thing that could go under. We got to fix that fast, you guys. And if you start imagining and picturing yourself training that awesome stud, training an awesome couple, and then you do the work, which I'm going to talk about later, guess what? It's going to happen for you guys. Some people might be slow, but in April, Primerica paid a record. Since 1977, they've never broken this record. In April, they paid over $76 million to the field force. My question to you is, how much of that is yours? See, it's out there, guys. We just got to go out and get it. And that's exciting to me. Why Primerica? Look, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm going to fly through this because you know why I share this? Because there's people out there that are not sold out the way Daniel is. There's people out there that you're sitting in Primerica and they still don't figure it out that this is the best opportunity in the world. You know what I love doing, and I'm sure you guys do it too, especially when someone's skeptical. I'm gonna Google, right? I say, you know what? Google this. Which company has the most six-figure income earners? And I'll even joke around and say, look, if the name of your company pops up, I'll go work with you. Go ahead, Google it. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. And they're like, Primerica, or the other, some guy says, Prime America, right? Right? You hear all that stuff, right? Let me tell you, there's people that go to Zoom meetings, they go to seminars, but it's not Primerica, and they sit on it, and they say, oh, that's my way out. I'm gonna sell lotions and potions for the rest of my life. That's my way out. I'm gonna sell coffee and glitter and shoe polish and girdles and make you look skinny, but you take it off at night and it doesn't work. We don't do that shit, guys. We represent the best opportunity, guys. We got to go out and make it happen. Why Primerica? It's a real world business and financial education. Even the Rule 72, guys, people don't know that stuff. You know why I'm not intimidated by anybody? For several reasons. And I don't care who it is, by the way. And I don't go out there and slop it up, obviously, right? I could relate with all walks of life, all races, all cultures, and obviously from our experience and working with people, different occupations, you name it, okay? But what I love is that, number one, when I was brand new, I already had $10,000 in my checking account. So I never looked at anybody like, man, I got to write this sale to pay my electrical bill. I got to write this sale, man, so I could pay my rent or my mortgage. I gotta write this sale so I could eat. Now have that urgency, but they can't see that the desperate look in your face either, guys. Like, oh my God, you understand? So many people are dying with coronavirus. Look, I hope none of us. I know people like my number one district. His wife has coronavirus. He did like 18,000 in premium last month, and he's sick. He just doesn't want to tell me. Okay, he's like, no, I'm good, Mario. Such a great attitude too. No, I'm good. Trust me. And he's in Arizona, so we're good too, man. We're in Zoom. It's all good, right? But anyways, so it's a real business, and we learn. I look at people. This is what I was gonna say, as if they're 7 years old. So they don't know what we know. I don't care if they're doctors, lawyers, chiropractors. They don't know what we know. And number two, I already have 10,000. Now, obviously, we have more than that today. But in the beginning, I have $10,000 in my checking account right now. Listen, I wouldn't say this, but my attitude, even till this day, says this. And you got to have that swag about you, by the way, okay? All the leaders, all the winners have it. You're lucky I'm in your presence. You're lucky you're breathing my air. Now, it sounds like, I know, braggadocious and cocky, like who the hell you think you are. But, listen, egos are not good, but we need to have egos. Ego, it's not your amigo, right? Ego edging God out. But the reality is that we need to have an ego, because you need to be a little prideful for your family, for your kids, for you to win. You should not be okay to come in second. I'm not okay with that. Okay, second place is a first loser. Okay, so anyways, I'm just throwing a lot of things at you guys. Number two, build a circle of friends and share your dreams. We've been to Cabo with Karma and Daniel. We've had green juices with them, okay? Right? I mean, it's healthy, but you're hungry like 30 minutes later, right? No, just kidding. And no, honestly, it's really good stuff. And just anyways. But, you have, they're not even friends. We're family. You know what I mean? And it's amazing that we could travel the world and dream together. We go on world-class trips. Number four, build massive passive income. If we have residual bills, shouldn't we have residual income? Think about that, because, we got to make it happen and build something huge that will pay us even when we sleep. Number five, we learn leadership skills. I'm not the same person that started Primerica, guys. My truck was my university, guys. And even till this day, I'll talk a little bit afterwards too as well. Number six, feel great about what you do. When you meet someone at the mall, you're not embarrassed or ashamed that you sat down with them. We've paid 60 death claims since I've been here. We're in the process of paying our 61st death claim. Millions, I should total it up. Millions and millions of dollars that we paid out. What if we would have said, nah, man, I'm straight. I got a good job. And by the way, I dare you to prospect the UPS driver. I dare you to. Every single one has their head up their ass. Trust me on that one, okay? They think they've arrived. Today, they're probably making 110, 120. So they think that they got it, right? But I don't know. I mean, even till this day, my back is a little jacked up and on and on and on. But I feel great about what I do, that I'm not screwing and tattooing people. We don't sell cash value. We don't do what the banking industry does, guys. VOL sucks. Plan A sucks. Option A sucks, okay? So we do what's awesome for families. Number seven, both men and women excel, right? Now, look, I have men and we have women. an up night. I say, look, if you're a man, if you're a woman, you belong here. Okay. So, that's amazing. That does not exist in the real world. Why do you think there are people rioting and protesting? All right. So it doesn't happen here, guys. We're all inclusive. We're, Primerica, the fabric. I look at Daniel's hierarchy. It's a fabric of America. My base shop, Daniel, is the same thing. We got Polynesians. We got Latins in business. We got African Americans. We got a few white folks in there too as well. We got to explode in the Asian market though. That's missing right now. I just need some good ones. Okay. And, but we get ownership here. Number 9, low startup investment, $74, guys. And number 10, is you get tax deductibles. Okay. So that's exciting. I'm going to fly a little bit faster. Okay. So, I don't know why you're doing Primerica. Maybe you don't want a Lambo, a Ferrari, or a Phantom, or whatever car. You're like, I don't care. I'll take my Shanita. She need a gas. She need a paint job. She need a fender. She need a, she need a, right? It's funny that this van right here says live better, work union. I mean, they could be your millionaire next door. You never know. We shouldn't judge, but probably not. The only time they wash their van is when it rains. But see, people like that are dream stealers too. And you got to be careful who you let steal your emotional wheel, because someone like that might say union equals value on that truck, right? And, you're like, really? They almost had me. And maybe not you guys because you're full time, but your downlines. You never know who's talking in their ear, and, we got to protect our thinking, guys, but hey, you never know. Okay. So but what floats your boat? What's your hot button? Maybe it's not a car. Maybe it's giving tithes at the church. People don't have to go to the restroom when they ask for the money now. Or I know we do push pay and all that stuff, but you know what I mean? There's so many organizations that we could give our time and our money to, right? So how about retire your parents? How about live in a different zip code? How about, better education for your kids, and on and on and on. Money is not everything, but it does rank up there with oxygen. Munoz, my favorite rock band, but whoever you like in the front, and it's a tax write-off. Why? Because I'm going to talk to my wife about business when I'm there. That's why. But we're going to sit front row and meet the rock stars. But whoever you like in the front, guys, Metallica, right? Just don't go in the mosh pit, right? And Pepe Aguilar, front row. It's a whole lot better than having it in the Ghetto Blaster, Def Leppard, Journey. So we signed up for entertainment. That's why we're doing this. I sat next to David Spade. He's super chill, guys, super cool, just like in the movies. He's like that in person. And, his wife, I think it's his girlfriend. She's like, I don't know, 5'11", 6 feet, and he's like 5'5". I won't tell you what he was smoking or what he was saying or what he was doing, but we all left there hungry. No, just kidding. We had a good time though, right? How about living in a place like that? See, Daniel and Karma live in a place like this, but before you have a place like this, you got to picture it. Before you have the ring, you got to picture it, or it will never happen. You got to envision it and then work through it. And especially when you're down in the valleys, picture it even more, touch it, feel it. I guarantee you, Daniel, he hasn't said this, but, well, at least not to me, but I guarantee you, he had posters of his house. I guarantee you he'd drive around the neighborhood. He'd sneak in that gated community where he lives. And it's like, man, that's going to be our house one day, right? And that's where it starts happening. All of a sudden, bam, that's where I'm at. So that's exciting, guys. People that live in places like that, they own stuff. Most of them do not have jobs, guys. I'm just telling you right now. Where I live, I live in an upper middle class area. There's no mansions, although there's a house selling for 1.5 million 5 doors from now. So my house just went up to like 1.8 million because they don't have a pool and it's not as nice as mine inside. Trust me on that. But I never thought, not that I'm going to sell, but I mean, I've seen these houses, Daniel, in Texas, like castles for like 700 grand. I was like, what the hell? Right. But anyways, God bless you if anybody goes to Texas. But right now, I love in Cali, the weather where you could surf and ski on the same day. So that's why we pay a lot of money here, except we got to change the politics and who's running California. But don't get me going on that part here, because then I'll start going to the left. No pun intended. But anyways, I'm excited. Okay. But how about traveling the world? Right. And these are some of our mentors, Mark and Sue Younger, just dream selling with them as well. And again, I know you guys have traveled too as well, but if I could do this, you guys could do it. Our family trips, our family is really tight, just like the Alonzos. We love hanging out with them and stretching them so that they have high expectations when they grow up, guys. they're not going to settle to live in a trailer. Now, if you live in a trailer, I'm not trying to make fun of you. You got to have an exit plan though, right? And where you're at, even if you're living with your parents, right? You got to have an exit plan. Like if you're not full-time, which I think most of you guys are, you got to have an exit plan when you're going to be full-time. Write it down and be sincere and true to it, right? This was last year. We had a great time out there. It's called Bacalar. It's 4 hours south of Cancun. Had a great time. Puerto Vallarta. Just some fun memories, guys. All this would never happen if it wasn't for Primerica. Now, I don't know if you've heard of this. It's called King Sugi. Now, all it means is golden repair. The Japanese, and let me read this real quick. The art is about understanding that the broken part of a flaw is seen as a unique piece of its history, which adds to its beauty. So in other words, it's a broken, they actually break it, but they kind of glue it together with gold, which is pretty amazing. That gold part is somebody quitting on you. That gold part is getting a charge back. You close for 135. The next day they call you, they don't want it. And yes, we got to go save it. But you know what I'm talking about. Your number one recruit quits, and they wouldn't be your number one if they quit. You guys know that. That's the flaws right there. And when it's all done, wear that cup that's glued together with all this gold, guys. This is what it looks like. I think that's pretty amazing, guys. And that's Primerica right there. In fact, the folks, that have the most gold in there, it's because they've been probably hurt the most, guys. Sue Younger told me many, many years ago, I'm sorry, Mario, but I know people have crushed your heart, but this is going to continue to happen. It's not going to end. And, it sucks. I get it because you build relationships with people and you love on them. You see their kids grow. And I know Daniel's done a lot for people that freaking jump ship. And, don't get me going on that one either. And all of a sudden you see them somewhere else. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Right? Talk about no loyalty, man. No loyalty, man. I'm old school like that, guys. But the more cracks we have, the nicer the cup is going to be. Don't look at it like, oh, I'm cracking, or, oh my God, coronavirus. This is my reason why I'm going to quit. Wrong. This is the reason why we're going to explode. And then this is what I want to leave you with. Things that you should do daily, every single day, you and I, okay? So we could get it done. Number one, we got to read. Every single day we got to read, guys, and take notes and highlight stuff. And you know what, even if you get one idea from a book, that will change your life. Invest $20, or even if you do it on the iPad, I think it's, it's cheaper. I personally don't do that. I like the paper, the feel, and I could write in it so that when we pass away, we could, and these are not the only books. I got books in the office too, trust me, but we could leave behind, and our kids could say, man, what was my great grandpa thinking on this day? What did he write? What notes did he put in there? Because at the end of the day is these books that we read is going to reinvent ourselves. Look, I'm from East LA, guys, right? That's where we were raised, right? And then we moved to Whittier, and then from Whittier, we moved to La Habra. So we've been going south, more and more. One day we'll end up where Daniel's at, right? But we got to read, guys. We got to read so we could get better. A better reader is a better leader, okay? So number two, we got to listen. And what I mean by listen is listen to your uplines. Don't take them for granted. Let me give you some wisdom. And I guarantee you, most of you guys don't do this. But if you do this, you're going to be big. And mean it sincerely. When you talk to Daniel, say, ask this. Daniel, how can I get better? Daniel, I just closed 2 sales. I just delivered 3 policies. I picked up a direct. I got 9 numbers today. How can I get better? Start asking your uplines, how can I get better? Right? And put your ego on the shelf. That's where you got to put your ego on the shelf. But we also got to listen to audios. See, when people say, I don't have any time, you know how I could find you an hour a day right now? It's called net time. Net stands for no extra time. So everybody has an hour. When you go for a walk, when you go to the gym, when you brush your teeth, when you're driving to the office. By the way, we still meet on Mondays. Since day one, we've been meeting on Mondays. We separate the chairs. I got a big base shop in there, I got about 35 people coming to meetings on Monday. We just separate them and we're good. Everybody wears their mask and we're good. They're careful with handles and all that other stuff. I got my assistant that's spraying the whole freaking office. So we're still meeting at the office because I think that once you're out of the hut, it's a lot better. You're out at least 1 day out of 7. You're already out of the house early in the morning. But we got to listen to podcasts, listen to great stuff that's on YouTube. There's great thinking out there, guys. We got to listen to that and find your net time every single day. Have the right thoughts and have the right manifestation. Okay. Number 3, you got to surround yourself on a daily basis with the right people. So it's not just reading the stuff. It's not just listening to the stuff, but it's also who you surround yourself with. You know, the power of association is just as important as the power of dissociation. You know, who do you surround yourself? In other words, are they bringing value to you? Do you learn from them? Do you get better? Do you feel good about yourself when you leave their presence? Or do they put you down? Or do they remind you of your past mistakes, or when you did this or when you did that? You know, what's the conversation like? See, you have to be aware. You might, listen to me, this is going to hurt some of you. It might even be your parents. It might be family that you really love. But, you know, we didn't talk to Viviana's family or my family for at least the first couple years. We said, hi, how are you? And that was it. We didn't go to parties, no barbecues, no quinceañeras, none of that. Even Christmas parties. I mean, Christmas, any of that. It was just us, our girls, Viviana and I, that's it. It's just us. We need to surround ourselves with like-minded people, right? You know, of course, in Victoria and on. But you know what I'm talking about is you got to be careful about that. If you want to be sloppy about that, you're going to pay the consequences. I'm just telling you right now, you got to surround yourself by greatness, okay? And the last one I think is the most important one of all. You got to apply yourself, because if you read, but you listen and you surround yourself with the right people, but you don't apply yourself, like you don't do it, you don't get results, you don't have an appointment, you only have one appointment a week. I don't speak that language, guys. And this Zoom, let me give you a secret. Back in the day, before Zoom, pre-Zoom, 2 KTs will keep poverty away. Today, it's 3 or 4. You know why? Because they'll dark Zoom you. See, back in the day, I teach my people, if they don't pick up, you still show up. If they call you, don't pick up the phone. If they text you, don't answer back. You show up like you never got it. And if they're not there, you show up the next day. What are they going to say? What are you doing here? When they were supposed to be there in the first place? I can't tell you. See, when Viviana and I full-time and we left our careers 3 months after we got licensed, we had $1,000 in our checking account. We couldn't fake it. We couldn't pretend. We couldn't afford to be scared. Okay. We have bills. We got a mortgage, our kids in private school. We have a nanny. We have an office now, you know, and it's on and cracking. So we have to apply. We have to make sure that we get the results, and you have at least 3 to 4 KTs a day. Look, I got a guy whose bonus was $4,500 being trained out. You know, my number 1 regional leader, she's not secure licensed. As soon as she passes the next month or 2, she's going RVP. Last month, she did over $80,000 in premium. That's called big. You know, we still hold the record. Thank you, guys. We still hold the record. You could look it up, 112,000 as the regional leader on POL. You could look at all the records, right, as the regional leader. So records are made to be broken, though. Listen, Daniel, this regional leader has been with me for 6 years. I would cringe when she'd give her numbers as a regional leader. I was like, oh my God, that's not who we are. What do you mean you made $800? What do you mean your whole team did $8,000? See, we don't speak that. That's like, you need to honor the contract, guys. I don't care if you're a district leader, you need to honor it. You know, you're a district, you're a real district, division, regional, RVP. So Zoom exploded her business. And, you know, and all the people under her, isn't it funny? Now she explodes and, you know, she's writing 28 to 30,000 personal, right? Making $18,000, $19,000 in income. All of a sudden her downlines are exploding. See how it works? Because people don't think that, you know, you could do what Daniel does. You don't believe that you could do what we do. But when you see your peers do it, you're like, oh man, now I'm definitely going to do it. But we're going to start applying ourselves. You know, if you don't hear no on a daily basis or share your personal story, you're not on track. You're not on track, guys. We need to apply ourselves. KTs, what do you have going on today? Zoom KTs, make it happen left and right. And, you know, how do you create it? Well, get more contacts. You heard, look, there's a guy that always writes 10 grand on my team every single month. We've been with us for like 7 years. Every single month, 10 grand. Pandemic happens. They took a little step back. They said, man, it's kind of a little difficult to prospect the way we hit the balls in the streets like we used to. I'm going to start passing out flyers. Now, so obviously he put them in busy shopping centers, you know, like at parking lots, and just go real quick. Bam, 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 bam. He's been doing that every single month. You know, I understand, you know, it's a numbers game, but every single month, they've been writing 10 grand since that started. Last op night, they had, I think, like 14 brand new people. Out of those 14, I think they got 3 IBAs, 8 or 9 IBAs out of 14. They're about to freaking explode. Their name is Mario and Rica Polanco. You'll see them in the leaders bulletin, the regional leaders. Trust me, guys. There's more. I didn't tell them to go put flyers, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. Like I've never door knocked, but there's people that door knock, right? We built our business by prospecting and getting referrals. And you know what? And we've done both, mainly prospecting. And I'm going to recruit Daniel, get him in the field, build him a big leg, get him to district as soon as possible. That's called applying yourself. And the last slide I'm going to leave you with, I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's 3 people that started Apple. I know there's only 2 pictures there. Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ron Wayne. The guy with the glasses, Ron Wayne. They started in the 70s in a garage. They're like, man, we're going to be big. Everybody and their grandma's going to have Apple. And Ron Wayne had no vision. See, the only thing worse than being blind is to be able to see, but to have no vision. Well, Ron Wayne had no vision. He sold 10% of his Apple stock for a measly $800. And see, you know, that $800 is worth today billions and billions of dollars. Billions. Talk about a massive error in judgment. See, today, he's still alive. You can look up this stuff I'm saying. He lives in the outskirts of Vegas in a trailer. And he says he has no regrets. Yeah, right. See, you're part of the best opportunity in the world. We got to take advantage, because one day your kids, your great-grandkids are going to say, "What? Hey, Mom, Dad, weren't you on that business? Man, didn't you know Daniel and Karma Alonzo? Do you know where they're at? They're in Africa on the safari right now." Okay? What happened? Well, you understand. All the excuses, right? You understand. No, we got to man up and woman up, especially you. This is a real talk, guys. We got to make this thing happen, guys. And, you know, so I just want to leave you with those thoughts, Daniel. Hopefully this helped. You know, I don't know if anybody has a few questions or whatever. Just want to, you know, I don't want to just pump you guys up.
That was awesome, Mario, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think we might get a couple of questions. Put them in the chat if you have a couple of questions. If we can just get a couple more minutes from you, Mario, man. I mean, you know, obviously, you're one of my favorite people in all of Primerica, all of the world. And the reason why is because you're real, man. You're a real guy. Yes, you're a champion. You just think right. And that's why I love when you come out and you have these conversations with our guys, because it's the mindset that sets you apart from everybody else. And I hope you all understand that mindset and start emulating, because I believe copying is good. Okay. Copying other people is good. You know, as you speak, I can hear Neil and Victoria, right? I could hear some little Neil come out of you. That's a good thing, right? I hope some of my guys sound like me, you know, one of these days, right? Because you take the best, you leave the rest, and you keep moving forward. And so, look, man, all right, I want to do 10 grand this month, man. I want to do 10 grand, right? So that's what somebody's thinking right now. I want to do 10 grand. A lot of people on here. You know, we got 57 people. If everybody did 10 grand, that's 570,000 in production we're going to do this month, right? That's how possible. Anything is possible, right? Every single person has the ability to do 10 grand. So right now, what's the best advice you're going to give me on how I can do 10 grand this month?
Okay, awesome. Great question, Daniel. And obviously Daniel knows the answer, but obviously he's doing it so we could help everybody. And this is going to go hand in hand with how do you prospect on a daily basis. Somebody put on the chat. And then I see Mercy Ramirez there. Hey, good morning. But hear me out, guys. You know, if you're from scratch, you're not training anybody right now. And I'm going to tell you what I told that couple, Mari and Rica Polanco, okay? Because, you know, he got furloughed or laid off. And for years, he's told me, I don't want to go back to a job. I hate my job. I think about Primerica. His wife full-time, she'll be a regional vice president. She always writes 10 grand, guys. But hear me out. I said, you know, and then, by the way, they called him back 2 weeks ago. And I said, I think you should at least go back, you know, because they're full-time. They got real bills. They got 3 kids. You know, their team, you know, shrunk, right? And he says, I'm not going back. I said, then you got to do what I'm about to share with you right now. And by the way, they're doing it. They're the ones that had all these people there on op night and they're prospecting. But, you know, to be frank, I don't prospect like back in the day, but for 5 years straight, when I was in the base shop, hey guys, I'd prospect, hit the streets like a madman. 55 out of 60 months, we wrote over 10,000 personal premium. When we went RVP, the first 2 years, no RVP in Hector Lamarck's hierarchy beat me in personal premium, because we used to meet with Rick and Hector at an RVP retreat in Vegas. And for 2 years, we took #1 personal premium. So we wrote 10 grand a few times, okay? Right? So that's why what I'm about to tell you, it's not theory, it's not I heard, it's things that we've done. But listen to me, guys. Before I'm not even going into the how do you prospect, because everything has to do with mindset. Right now, you got to turn it on and start thinking like what I'm about to say. When you go to the grocery store, you go to the grocery store to prospect, even if you have a mask on. Hey, how's it going? By the way, whatever the case might be, just to start the conversation. Okay, you prospect, you go to the grocery store to get a number or two, and you happen to buy milk. When you go to the post office, you get a number or two, and you happen to buy stamps. When you go to the gas station, which by the way is a great place to prospect, you go to get a number or two, and you happen to put gas in your car. When you go to the park and play with your kids, wherever you're at, you happen to get a number and you happen to walk, you happen to play with your kids. So if we all change that, your premium is going to skyrocket just like that. Okay. So that's a big clue right there. But if you're from scratch, listen, if you're by yourself, you got to get at least 8 to 15 contacts every single day, whether it's through social media, whether it's prospecting, whether it's door knocking, whether somebody calls you on a flyer. You got to get 8 to 15 people minimum. See, back in the day before C19, you could get away with 4 to 6 numbers. I know I could. 4 to 6 numbers, good quality numbers. We look for the ring, people you would hang out with, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And those are not easy either. Okay, the good ones are not easy. But when you're out there, that's what you got to do, guys, is 8 to 10 numbers. And then the key is make sure that every single day you take about 2 hours to blow up your phone, 2 to 3 hours. When you start, your phone is fully charged. When you're done, the phone is freaking hot. And it's like 10% and it's going to die. See, a lot of you guys say, man, I don't know if I could do that. Well, you're not going to write 10 grand. I'm giving you the answers on how to do it. And then from 1 to 2 days, just from the 2 or 3 hours, you're going to start setting a bunch of appointments. What I say a bunch is when you're on the phone, you'll know you're on track if you set 2 to 3 appointments, minimum 2 to 3 appointments in those 2 to 3 hours. That's a lot of phone calls. Hey, but you got to set at least 2 to 3. If you could set more, that's a cherry on top. But 2 to 3 appointments. And you could also do recruiting appointments. And obviously I meet people at my office all the time. You know, you could do it through Zoom, just every hour or every 30 minutes, have recruiting appointments. So I know people are asking how I prospect. I still prospect, but I prospect as I go. I don't intentionally go prospect anymore, right? And I'm not saying I've arrived. I mean, you know, when all numbers are final, we should hit $62,000 in income, for last month. And RVPs are coming. This is just the beginning, guys. I'm going to be nice to people that were nice to me, like Daniel and Karma. Okay, trust me on that. But you could bet the farm on it. We're going to build a mega hierarchy because of stuff like this. And I have a lot of people that are doing this. See, if you don't have people doing this, you and I have to do it. And even if you don't do it, I mean, you give yourself a pay raise, right? It's my fault that I'm not rolling $12 million. We've gotten paid, $6 million since we've been here, but we're rolling 12 is not $1 million. And you know what? We want to have the Ruby too, officially. And that's important, but we got to do it, and you got to teach others to do it. See, my trainings at the office are boring, but all I cover is Hector 7 fundamentals. That's all I do, right? And then obviously I tell them what I do, what I've done, because I'm not going to challenge them to do anything that we haven't done, Viviana and I haven't done. And some stuff is crazy, right? Yeah, but you know what? Making over 60 grand a month is also crazy in a month, when I used to make that in a year, guys. And I know a ton of people are doing that and people breaking records in Primerica. I get it. Okay. But I don't take that lightly. I totally understand that we're in special times. Okay. So Hopefully that helped you, but just make sure you're in the zone and you have a minimum of 3 appointments a day, because they're gonna, and you might say, I've never done that in my career. Well, maybe you've never wrote 10 grand in your career in a month. Well, I'll say one more thing so you could believe what I'm saying. I have a girl, you could look her up. She's a district leader, right? And I believe she's still #1 in the state of California. She's been with us for 3 months. She got her jackets. You got to do 10,000 personal premium 3 months in a row, because you can't chase sales for 3 months in a row. That's why we have it for 3 months, right? Her name is Pua and Mo. First month made 4 grand in income. Second month, 5 grand. This past month, she's already at 6,500. She did over 20,000 personal premium. Why? Because we've raised the bar how many appointments you could have. See, there was a time where I flew to Alaska. I've flown to Washington, to Utah, to Texas, to Arizona. I've been to South Carolina, North Carolina. I've been to Virginia to train people. And you know how many of them are here? Why? Because of leadership. And it's my fault. I should have known of Zoom to the boom, boom, right? I mean, think about how many more people we would still have. We don't throw people against the wall and see if they stick. So anyways, we got to be repetitive, and hopefully that helped a few of you, okay? So make it happen every single day. I don't know if anybody else wrote a few things here. Put thank you. 3 day keeps, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Mario, hey, look, man, I just, the last thing I would just ask that you do, or a question I have for you is, how important is accountability in this whole process? How accountable were you to Neil? And what did that look like as you were growing as an RVP? I mean, you were an RVP, and even before RVP, what did that look like? How often did you talk to him?
Listen, guys, this is where rubber meets the road. I'm glad Daniel asked that question, because there's so many people out there that are struggling because they lack accountability. Listen to me. You cannot be big. You cannot, especially in the beginning stages, you will not be big. And I'll prove it to you without holding yourself accountable. Because if you don't hold yourself accountable, number one, you're going to recruit people that don't hold themselves accountable to you. And how can you lead a team like that? It's not going to happen. So number two, if you want to break records, if you want to become a regional vice president, you got to make sure your upline sees your blind spot. Because see, one thing we've learned, and Viviana's learned, and I've learned, is how to coach ourselves. Because we're A-type personalities. We want to decapitate each other sometimes, right? I mean, we've gotten better over the years, of course, right? Now at least we don't do it in public. No, just kidding. But hear me out. Okay, when I was with Neil, we talked minimum 2 to 3 times a day. And it wasn't a lot of texting back then. So 2 to 3 times we're talking. Sometimes it'd be quick, boom, 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 boom. And then the third time, boom. Usually we talk at night so we could digress and find, he could know exactly what's going on with my team. He didn't really talk to people on my team until I was about to go RVP. That's where we started plugging in with Myrna and Juan and a few others. And then boom, boom, and I went RVP. And then he didn't miss a beat. I didn't miss a beat, okay? Went out #1 in the world. There's been, I don't know, and I don't take credit for it, because if this is probably being recorded, Victoria had all the credit, but there's probably been, I don't know, 20, 25 RVPs that have been promoted through our replacement. So do it big, and you'll be big, and they'll be big. We went RVP. I wasn't bigger than the coaching. I'd still plug in, even till this day, and look, I mean, there's things that Neil will still teach me, but I think you come to a level where it's just out of respect. It's out of respect. I don't think, you understand, Neil? I'm the biggest guy in your hierarchy right now, 130,000. What's up? I beat so-and-so, I beat so-and-so, and I beat so-and-so, and I beat so-and-so. I don't think like that. They're my brothers and sisters. Don't get me wrong. I want to beat the shit out of them. Straight up. And guess what? When they're beating me, they don't feel sorry for me. Okay, trust me. That's helped Neil go to $1.7 million. See, we were Neil's pit bulls in the base shop. And you know what? Tanya and Eric and Myrna, they freaking took the baton and smacked me with it. But you know what? I grabbed it back. And, I don't want to give it back. It's like a pit bull on crack. It's like, oh, hell no, right? And it's all the way to the top, right? And that's how we're all going to build big hierarchies. But holding yourself accountable is key. Listen to me. I'm going to say one more thing. Okay, because your partner's your truth teller too. and I'm going to give you a big hint so you won't get in a fight. Okay. When you talk to your partner and you want to coach your partner, start by saying, can I give you a suggestion? And stay quiet. If your partner does not answer, do not give a suggestion at that moment. That will save you tons of fights. Now, if you like fighting, go for it, okay? But you got to pick your battles because everything ricochets from that, okay? So, and you got to put your ego on the shelf and plug in with Daniel and text them and when you hold yourself accountable, guys, you're gonna feel like, oh man, I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let my family down. It's really your family you don't want to let down. Your kids, your wife, you don't want to let them down. That's a number one, right? But we got to make sure, like, hey, we're part of a team. I want to build something huge with Daniel and Karma. I'm going to hold myself accountable to the max. And by the way, if Daniel doesn't answer, how dare he doesn't pick up the phone? He didn't text me back in 2.3 seconds. What the heck is wrong with him? You think like that, man? Let me tell you, you're a Magic Mountain free fall. You're not even going sideways. You're going straight down like this. Okay? So don't think like that. That's called effed up thinking. Okay? So, hey, we're all running $1 million businesses. We're all, busy. And not that we're so busy for you, but hold yourself accountable. Text. If, like I tell people, look, if it's urgent, don't even call me. If you're at a kitchen table, text me, 911. I guarantee, I don't care if I'm at church, I'm going to get up from the pew. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to call you. Okay. So, but hear me out. Okay. One of the things that we've been able to do with Zoom that's helped me, Daniel, a lot, is when someone does a fast start, that's what I love about Zoom. I jump in real quick. Hey, my story, let me give you some nuggets on the fast start and edify my person. If it's Fitu, I'm going to edify, I'm going to push her up. And let me tell you how awesome Fitu is. Boom, 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 boom. And then I zoom out. You see bags under my eyes a little bit. I've been doing a lot of that and I love it. That's the work that we have to do. Before, you couldn't drive to Moreno Valley and Corona and Rancho Cucamonga and Oxnard. Now in 3 hours, you're in different states. In 3 hours, you're in different Zooms. Oh my God, it's amazing. Okay, so, and they also call me. Sometimes they're stuck at a kitchen table. You know how we role play before Zoom? Hey, this is what you should say. Now they're going to hear me say it. Boom, we close. What do you mean they have term and they don't want to move? Oh, put me on, right? Put me on, put me in front of them. So I always have my laptop on sleep. So I don't have to take too much time to turn it on. So again, those are I might not be prospecting all day like I did in the past. And I haven't arrived, by the way. I'm still prospecting. The other day I got an awesome number at Chili's. He's a manager. Man, you have great attitude. You have great people skills. You would do great in our business. What's the number where I could reach you? Oh, that's so hard. Oh, my wife would also be interested. Can she join? She works at Disneyland. She just got laid off. Absolutely. Boom, let's go. Let's do this. That wasn't that hard, guys. Okay, fine, the whiff. I'm not going through all the details, guys, but come on. We just got to go out and do it and hold yourself accountable, guys. Hold yourself accountable until you're free, till you build something huge. And even then, I still hold myself accountable with Neil, guys. I don't want to talk 2-3 times a day. I'll be honest with you. We don't. Maybe a couple times a month, right? We text each other more than we talk, but he would be there if I called him. We had a bomb dinner for Father's Day with them, right? So we're still in communication, okay, guys? I would be there for him if he needs something. I'd be there for him if he needs something, period, end of story. But anyways, hopefully that helped and answered the question, Daniel.
Man, oh man. Hey, Mario, well, I'm going to let you go because you're building a mega hierarchy. I want you to get back to doing that, but we appreciate you, buddy. Let's get together real soon for another bomb dinner. And congratulations on all of your success. You know that we are your #1 biggest fans, and we love you guys so much. God bless you guys. Have an amazing day.
Later, bud. See you guys. Bye. Take care.